chapter. So this is one of the important chapter of 9th standard, motion. So in this chapter, few terms are there which are important for numericals. So the first one which we use in numerical is acceleration. Acceleration is represented by small a. Acceleration is defined as rate of change of velocity. Suppose an object is starting with the initial velocity. So these are the new terms which you are learning here. So U stands for initial velocity. That is the starting velocity with which object starts its journey. And the velocity which it attains after certain interval is considered as final velocity. So here we are having two kinds of velocities, initial velocity and final velocity, in the time interval of t. Thus the acceleration stands for change in velocity, as it is rate of change of velocity. So final minus initial upon time. As it has got the ratio of velocity upon time, velocity unit is meter per second and times unit is second. Thus the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Now the next term. Now how to represent distance. So this we got about acceleration. Distance is represented by S letter, time by t, and velocity by v. So we have got relation of all the three. Now velocity is distance upon time. In this chapter, velocity will be given in kilometer per hour, which we need to convert into meter per second while solving numericals. So how to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second? For that we need to multiply 5 upon 18 to the given value. For example, if the velocity is given 36 kilometer per hour. So how are you going to convert it into meter per second? 36 multiplied by 5 upon 18. So how we got this 5 upon 18? Converting kilometer to meter, multiplying by 1000, and hour to seconds, dividing by 3600. So zeros got cancelled. 2 5s are 10 and 2 18s are 36. So that's why we multiplied it by 5 upon 18. So directly everyone can remember, to convert into kilometer per hour we can multiply 5 by 18. Now after that, displacement. This is also a new topic for you. Very often we use this word displace, means how much the place got changed. Suppose an object started from position A, and after certain interval it reached to B and then it returned back to C. When we talk about distance, distance is the whole path which it covered. If A to B is 15 kilometer and B to C is 2 kilometer, then distance will be total path, which is 15 plus 2, 17 kilometer, whereas displacement, as I told, displacement is shortest distance. Displacement will be AC. So when we calculate displacement, only the thing you need to keep in mind, where I was before and where I am now. So the distance between before and now is displacement. So in that sense, displacement will be 15 minus 2, 13. We can remember displacement as shortest distance between initial and final position, whereas the distance is the longest distance. Now here they can make one give reason type of question. Can distance be 0? Answer for that, distance cannot be 0. If the object changes its position, it will have certain distance. Can displacement be 0? Answer will be S. if initial and final position are same. Suppose an object started from A and it returned to A. So in that case, displacement will be 0. Different types of question can be asked related to displacement. Like they can make the question, if a circular track is there, what is the displacement covered? If radius is given 100. They can ask different kind of questions out of this. Like if the object started from A and it reached to B. In that case, for AB, displacement will be diameter, that is 2 times of r, 2 multiplied by 100, 200 meter. Now when we think about distance and displacement, we can see that the shortest distance is AB, whereas the longest distance is semicircumference. So this semicircumference is representing distance and this one is representing displacement. Now, if suppose a square is there, they can make sometimes a question like the person is revolving around or the person is making the 3 rounds, 4 rounds, what is the displacement? So whatever the number of rounds we are making, if we come back to the same position, displacement will be 0. Only distance can be calculated in this sense. Now if suppose square is there and a person is starting from A and if he reaches to C, if the sides are 10 meter, in this case 10 plus 10, distance will be the longest one. So distance is 20, whereas the displacement is the shortest one. Displacement is 10 root 2. One more simple logic you can remember. If both the sides are same, we can find the diagonal, which will be root of the common number. So directly you can apply this answer, or you can go with Pythagoras theorem. Now after displacement, the next topic which we are having is average speed. While I was explaining, so we talked about velocity and speed. So here both the terms we very often use together. So what is the difference between them? Both are distance covered in unit time. Distance covered in unit time are speed and velocity. The difference is velocity we need to give certain direction. That is, when we define velocity, it is distance covered in unit time in particular direction. Whereas for speed, no direction is there. So here they ask differentiate between speed and velocity. So the first one is definition. Second point, velocity is vector quantity. Now in physics we are going to use two different kinds of quantities. One is called vector quantity and other is called scalar quantity. Speed is a scalar quantity. Now what is vector quantity? The quantity which has magnitude and direction both is called vector quantity. Like for velocity we use 5 km per hour towards north. Whereas for the speed it is 5 km per hour. Thus the scalar quantity, it's having only magnitude, but vector quantity it is having magnitude and direction both. So this is one of the important question. Differentiate between velocity and speed. Now the next topic is average speed. Already all of you are familiar with the term average. Average means we are adding all. Suppose object is having the different speeds. So we need to add total distance. What is the total distance covered by the object in total interval of time? Total distance by total time gives average speed. Whereas for average velocity, it is total displacement upon total time. Again we can make one more question. First you need to memorize both the formulas. Total distance upon total time is average speed, average velocity, total displacement upon total time. In that case, like why we are saying, when we are saying total displacement, as we know displacement can be 0. So average velocity can be 0, but average speed can never be 0. Give reason. So this is one of the important question. The reason will be, as object will have certain distance, distance cannot be 0. So average speed can never be 0. Displacement can be 0. So average velocity can be 0. So these are the few questions which we are going to get like theory based in this chapter. Now we are going to have derivations. 3 equations are there in this chapter and sums based on that. So 9th standard, most of the students feel it difficult as till 8th you don't have any habit of solving numericals. 9th onwards we are having different numericals. So as I told, in this chapter we are having 3 equations based on which we are going to solve sums. So totally there are 6 formulas. The first one is acceleration, already I taught. Acceleration is v minus u upon t. If we have cross multiplication, v minus u is at, therefore v is u plus at. This is first equation of motion. So in this chapter, like they will give object is moving with initial velocity. As we know initial velocity, they will give that like the object is starting from rest. So here we need to remember in this chapter, this is also one of the important logic or the trick you can say, if object starts from rest. So always they will mention in the question, object is starting from rest or the vehicle is starting from rest, train is starting from rest. If it is given that starts from rest, for rest we will consider always u to be 0. Initial velocity 0 as it is in rest. And then if it comes to rest means it is getting stopped or it stops. So in that case final velocity will be 0. So these are the important terms, like when the initial velocity will be 0 and when the final velocity will be 0. Now after this we can calculate by using this formula. So in this based on this formula they will give that object is starting with the 5 meter per second and then it has got time and acceleration. What will be its final velocity? So this is first equation. Now the second equation, for that this derivation is important, which is of 4 to 5 marks question, where they will give derive second equation. So second equation we have s is equal to ut plus half at square, where s is distance, u is initial velocity, t is time, a is acceleration. So all these letters are familiar to you. So let's start out with how to derive this. So this we derive graphically. So here you can use any labeling. So here we need to write out few statements. Let the object is starting from initial velocity u. Let object is starting from initial velocity u and after time t its final velocity be v. Therefore distance covered during this interval can be calculated by finding area of graph. So here the graph is representing AODB. When we find this area, this whole area will represent what is the distance covered. Object started from initial velocity u and after certain time interval t it accelerated. So it increased its speed. Thus the final velocity, this is v, complete is v. Final velocity is v, which the object reached with final velocity to B. We need to calculate what is the distance covered. For the distance we need to find area, as I already explained. So here area of figure, here figure is trapezium shape, that is area of trapezium AODB. Now this trapezium can be divided as rectangle and triangle. So let's divide the trapezium into rectangle and triangle. That is area of rectangle AOC, area of rectangle AODC, AODC plus area of triangle. Here triangle is ACB. As usual, the regular formula which we are using, the same formula we are going to apply. Area of rectangle, its length into breadth, and area of triangle is half base height. From this figure, length is OD, which is T, length is OD, which is equal to T, and breadth is U. For triangle, base is AC, which is T only, and height is BC, which is V minus U. Complete is V and this is U. So it's V minus U. We are going to use all these values over here. Now length of rectangle OD, breadth is OA, base of triangle is AC, height of triangle is BC. OD is T, OA is U. Here AC is T, BC is V minus U. Now multiply them. It's UT half, V minus U is 80. This we got from first equation. So as the first equation is V minus U upon T is A. If we have multiplication, V minus U will be 80. So V minus U can be replaced by 80. Thus the final equation for distance S is equal to UT plus half 80 square. This is called second equation of motion. So now we are going to start out with third equation of motion, which is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. We can write it randomly towards left also. So from this, S is equal to V square minus U square upon 2A. So this is the last equation of this chapter. In this chapter we are having acceleration formula, then motion's 3 equation, then what is average speed, average velocity. So all the sums are based on that, and this for this derivation, see how to get for this equation. S is equal to V square minus U square upon 2A. So the same graph which we had for the second equation, the same graph we will follow, only the formula will change here. So as we are finding area of trapezium, so same we are going to apply for the third equation. Trapezium is AODB. In the previous case, we split out in rectangle and triangle. This trapezium was divided into rectangle and triangle. But in now this case, we are going to apply directly the formula of trapezium. Area of trapezium is half A, half H, A plus B. Height, A and B are sum of parallel sides. Recently you had in your 8th standard. So here in this trapezium shape, this one is height, whereas AO and BD are parallel sides. So one is A and other is B. So let's start out with the formula. So here half height is OD, OA plus BD. OD is T, OA it's U, and BD is V. Now this T we can replace from the first equation again, as we had A is V minus U upon T. So T will be V minus U upon A. So this is from equation 1. Replace T with V minus U upon A. Arrange this also. V plus U. Now we got the formula of A plus B, A minus B. So we are going to use that identity here. A minus B, A plus B is A square minus B square. 2 multiplied by A is 2A. This is nothing but S. So this is our third equation of motion. So hope everyone understood it. So these are the simple equations. Once you get clear with these equations, easily you can solve numericals.